the deadlier teams in USL Championship has their eyes set on getting out of the gates early here tonight. It's East versus West as San Antonio has come to town to do battle with Miami FC. Good evening to all of you, wherever you may be. With Chris Nurse, I'm David Gascon. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It's week number 8 USL Championship, and Chris, for Miami FC, they need to get a win the worst kind of way, and they go up against one of the best teams in all the land.
Yeah, we're accustomed to seeing San Antonio at number 1. For them, they may not be in the top spot that they want to be in right now, but they're definitely on a streak of form, finding themselves gradually climbing the ladder week by week. For Miami FC, tons of improvement. They need to pick up a win sooner rather than later. Yeah,
they are winless in their last 6 in USL Championship, winless in the last 7 if you count the US Open Cup. And because of that, you have to look at a couple different directions. Where's the offense coming? Where are the timely stops, and who's between the pipes?
Yeah, and they've had most of the games that they've lost have only been up by a slight margin, 1-goal margin, apart from one blowout that's kind of sent their goals conceded kind of out the ratio. But they've been in tight games, so it's not going to be much before they're able to turn the balance and start to pick up some wins as they go along.
Alan Gavilanes is our Volkswagen Dealers of South Florida player to watch. He leads the team in goals. He's got 4 of them on the year, but he also needs some help.
Yeah, of course he needs help, but firstly, obviously, he needs his team to keep clean sheets. They've had a couple of individual mistakes, but having him on form, scoring goals, as I said, it's only a matter of time before the tables turn for Miami FC.
And for San Antonio, you think about day in and day out, San Antonio completes what they do week in and week out against the opposition, and you look at where they're at right now. The hot start for them, their last 5, 3 up, 1 down, and 1 draw. A good pace so far, but the most important thing is they're picking up 3 points match in and match out.
Yeah, and you're looking at getting off to a fast start, so taking the lead. Their last game took the lead in the 7th minute. Chol got a goal in his first start, returning from injury. Confidence boosting for the team. Players coming back. It's only going to be good for them.
And these teams met last season. It was oddly enough one of those matches where San Antonio dominated, but you look at Miami FC, they pulled off an upset. Volkswagen player to watch tonight, Machat Chol.
Saw it before it came. Obviously, I was just talking about Chol before this lad came up, but again, first start, first goal, returning from injury, a much-needed boost for the team.
Miami FC gave San Antonio their lone loss of the season at home. Well, San Antonio will remember that. They'll try to repay the favor here tonight. Coming up on the side, we'll get you the starting 11 and first touch. It's San Antonio and Miami FC coming up next.
Some people think Miami is just flamingos and palm trees.
And hell yes, we have badass sunsets.
But Miami's Little Havana,
Doral,
Little Haiti,
Hialeah,
Wynwood, Coconut Grove,
Kendall,
Calle Ocho, Sweetwater, Homestead,
cortaditos y coladas
empanadas y croquetas.
is so much more. This is the 305.
This is who we really are. This is what we are all about.
I am Latino.
I'm a disruptor.
I am LGBTQ.
I am a villain.
I am a mother.
I am Haitian.
I am an athlete.
I am an activist.
I am a king.
I am American Dream.
I am the future.
I am
Miami
FC.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Over 2,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,975. We'll pay you up to $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. That's $2,000 more than it's worth at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
And this broadcast is brought to you by micromobility.com. Toyota of Hollywood, we speak your language. Hablamos tu idioma. Volkswagen Dealers of South Florida. Check out local offers at vwflorida.com today. And Baptist Health. Baptist Health, your orthopedic care specialists. Back here live in South Florida, live at FIU Soccer Stadium here tonight with Chris Nurse and David Gascon. Starters tonight for Miami FC. Chris, what do we got?
Yeah, it looks like a standard 3-5-2 formation. Interesting because they brought in a little bit of experience, and Barber, for me, is the interesting player to watch. A lovely left foot at the back there, brings a little bit of experience to this youth. He's going to be commanding things, but his distribution is key for this team.
Luisinho in the middle of the park. This is only his second start of the year in USL Championship. He did start in the U.S. Open Cup for Miami FC. On the flip side of things for San Antonio and Alan Marcina, the beat goes on for them, the deployment for them this evening.
Yeah, and you know they're going like for like in formation. So it's becoming more common that we see a back three, but both teams utilizing the same formation, so it's going to be interesting. Obviously, San Antonio on a rich streak of form, climbing the tables. Chol getting his goal previously. Agudelo, Hernandez, team of the week. A lot to be excited for in this San Antonio attacking half.
Hey, look at them and Mitchell Tanner in the back of the park. He has been a rock for them all season long and has been throughout his entire career with San Antonio. Temperatures right now, Chris, 79 degrees. The humidity is okay at 58%. A couple scattered clouds, but winds blowing about 20 miles per hour. All in all, for Miami FC, they can take whatever they can get here tonight because, as you mentioned, the open of the show, they need a win in the worst kind of way.
Yeah, and I think the temperature may be positive tonight because it's got a little bit chilly in the evenings over this week, and again now the temperature dropping a little bit in the evening, so it's not going to be a hot, humid Miami night like maybe anticipated. It's a beautiful night for some great soccer.
Nabil Ben Salah, the lead official tonight. This match has commenced. Miami FC moving from right to left, and San Antonio and their white and black kits moving from left to right. Daniel Gagliardi between the pipes here this evening. Gagliardi did not start the last couple of matches for Miami FC, but getting the nod here tonight. They lost last week 1-0 to Birmingham. And Chris, all in all, you look at the matches, you mentioned the Open, they've lost a few of these matches by a 1-goal margin, but you never got the sense that Miami was a threat against Birmingham in that 1-0 defeat.
Yeah, I think it's obviously we spoke about the offseason. They lost a lot of players. This is a complete rebuild. And if you look, the games have been tight. You know, it has been 1-goal margins, apart from the Open Cup where they conceded 4 to Georgia Tormenta and the Tampa Bay Rowdies game. It has been narrow margins, and you think if they start to hit a reach streak of form, start converting their chances, and the defense becomes more concrete, that they can easily turn this around pretty quickly. Now the question is, now they've switched to a back three, does that make their defense more volatile, or does it actually strengthen things up? And when they transition to defense, the wingers drop in as fullbacks and give them a back five. The game will only tell us as time goes on, but it's interesting to see. Sometimes teams go to a straight back five. They normally stick with a straight back four when the problems is conceding goals. They've opted to go for a back three. So it's going to be interesting to see how they transition into defensive formation after their attack.
Back-to-back corner kicks powered by Toyota of Hollywood. Cabral here working short. Back post, the header off the mark, but it's tapped in on the goal line. They're going to wave it off though. Frankie Lopez disgusted right now. Miami FC had a goal wiped off the board last week because of an offside call. Let's look at this again.
Yeah, I think he's just in front of the goalkeeper here, so he's in a slightly offside position, and when the ball comes back to him, he didn't have time to get himself back on side, so I think the referee's right in calling this one offside. But Miami FC off to a great start. Could have took the lead there in the opening 2 minutes.
Ayambilla here, getting the nod here this evening for Miami FC. It's been the difference in these matches when you look at the losses and how they pile up. A goal wiped off the board, or an opportunity hits woodwork, or a timely stop by the opposition. Pablo Cisniega already seeing some early traffic coming his way. Another Toyota of Hollywood corner kick for Cabral. Line drives Cisniega with a good paw on it because that ball had some hook to it.
Good delivery, but just into the goalkeeper's safe area. Anything there that high, the goalkeeper really should be claiming. Just needs to be drifted a little bit further away from him into that dangerous area where you don't know whether it's goalkeeper's or defender's ball, and sometimes that can cause calamities in itself. But he did get some good whip on that delivery, as you said.
San Antonio, good offensively. Tied for the most goals in the West. 11 goals for them. Third most shots with 97 of them. Cisniega defensively tied for third most saves in the Western Conference. So they do a lot of things right, and obviously you can see that by their record, 3-1-3, 12 points.
Interesting to just see Miami's approach to the game. That was Burks in possession of the ball at the halfway line, and no Miami player was going to press him whatsoever. In fact, as he advanced with the ball, they were just dropping off. So it seems like they're content to allow the San Antonio centre-backs to have the ball in possession and just keeping a tight line and staying tight and compact behind that.
And at this point in the season, when you've lost a handful of games already and you're on a losing streak or winless streak, at this point you got to do anything and something different no matter what, right?
Yeah, and I think that they keep the game as tight as possible. Obviously, you keep it tight. You try to get the first goal, as they almost did just now, but it's very clear that they're not going to be expansive and have players chasing all over the place and pressing and then get caught out of shape. So you can already see a very strong discipline to keeping their shape and being patient when they're defending.
Daniel Gagliardi between the sticks this evening, and as you see, discussing things with his teammates. Here's Hernandez. And Toya of Hollywood corner kick. Hernandez simply a playmaker for them. Oh, that header back post, it hits some woodwork and it goes out. So both teams threatening early on. Hernandez with excellent placements. We look at it again.
Yeah, both teams dangerous here from set pieces. I think this header ends up being a little bit of head, a lot of shoulder, and just glides itself over the crossbar, but not far away whatsoever. Both teams have been dangerous in the early stages from set pieces.
Hernandez and Bonnie, collision there. Early yellow card in the 6th minute. Ayambilla goes down. That was quick. Take a peek at this again. Ayambilla appears to be okay.
Your attention, please. A yellow card has been issued to San Antonio FC's number 22, Shannon
Gomez with the yellow card. Excuse me, yeah, Shannon Gomez, I beg your pardon.
I'm not sure there was too much in that warranted a yellow card. I think it was an honest attempt from both players to get the ball in that instance. One came off worse than the other.
So Lopez having a goal wiped out because he was offside. Boney hitting the crossbar on a header. Early theatrics, what more can you expect from Miami FC? Nothing is boring for them throughout this year. Even though the record sits at 1-5-1, there's always something going on through 90 minutes. Here they go on the attack. Lopez trying to push forward. Gavilanes got taken down and taken out, and he's left in a vulnerable spot. Another yellow card here. Tainer looking on, pleading with the lead official. Let's see what kind of discussion we have here with the
good link-up play from Miami FC. It goes into Gavilanes. He lays it off to Luisinho, gets it back, and then a little bit of a rash challenge there from San Antonio. Trivial to say the least. It clips him around the head. There's no attempt to go for the ball here. Just kind of grabs him. Not sure Gavilanes needed to go down in that fashion, but for sure it's a little bit of unsportsmanlike contact there from Tainter.
Chris, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. I mean, I've seen Zinedine Zidane with a headbutt.
Yeah, that was I'm not quite sure what kind of defending that was, but he stopped the attack. If they defend the set piece well, maybe he stopped them from conceding a goal scoring opportunity, but now he walks on eggshells for the remainder of the game. Just seven minutes in, and one of your key defenders is already sitting on the yellow card. Now he has to time everything to perfection. One mistimed tackle and he could be heading to the locker rooms early with a red card. So he's in a very precarious situation now for the remainder of the game.
I mean, I'm all about protecting your haircut and all, but Gavilanes looked like he had no comfort with that head slap from Tainer.
I think Gavilanes just outsmarted him there. His ability just to check into space, lay the ball off first time, receive it back in behind. He's driving directly for goal.
Luisinho, who scored a couple goals in that loss that Chris had mentioned against Tormenta, had 2 of them in the defeat. He's on the pitch, his 2nd start of the year. Cabral to his left, 8 and 7 respectively, working against Cisniega and the wall in front of him. Let's see how this is delivered.
This is a good 25 yards out. Have to be some strike to beat the keeper from this distance.
He can certainly pull it. Cabral will take it. Right-footed punch, that thing just goes wide.
It wasn't a bad attempt at all, just the ability to get it over the wall, and it dipped. It just didn't dip quite enough to get underneath the crossbar, but great strike. bend, curl, dip on it. Actually a little bit wider the upright and a little bit high, but definitely you can see from the reaction of the goalkeeper, Cisniego, very, very close.
And Cisniego was deep in his net, so when you're walking that goal line, if that was on target, I would have been extremely curious to see where that ball would have been placed had he got hands on it. I think it'd take a nasty ricochet off of one bar and into the net.
Despite the corner kick that obviously skimmed off the top of the crossbar, Miami FC have been the better team in this opening 10 minutes. They haven't got the rewards for the opportunities and the possession they've had, but they've definitely been the stronger team in this opening 10 minutes. They're going to have to convert one of these chances, otherwise the longer the game stays 0-0, we know San Antonio have the power up top to create goal scoring chances, to score goals. So it's imperative that Miami FC actually are able to get on the score sheet first and take control of this game.
Yeah, for Miami FC, they're winless in 7 straight. 0-6-1 if you count the loss to Tormenta in the U.S. Open Cup. Lost the last 4 when conceding the opening goal. They're just trying to get things right with the first strike of the match. But easier said than done. Silva here. Gonzalez. And Hernandez. Hernandez looking forward to the top of the box. Defense converging. Cagliari can't get to it in time. And it's an early strike for San Antonio. On the board, early Hawkinson. And San Antonio with that early lead. It's 1-0.
It's a great strike from Hawkinson. But I'm not convinced that the goalkeeper shouldn't have done better on this. It looks like he's coming across the goal line in sand the way he goes to put his hand onto this ball, but great delivery there from Hernandez, and it's a brilliant strike, but I feel like the goalkeeper could have got there a little bit quicker. But we spoke about San Antonio, how dangerous they are, their ability to score goals, and Miami FC had dominated the open 10 minutes, but they hadn't got themselves on the score sheet. And here, San Antonio, probably their second attempt on target, find themselves 1-0 in the lead.
Well, for Hernandez, it's his 4th assist of the season. And for Hawkinson, it's his first goal of the year. Yeah, he's juiced up. 1-0 San Antonio.
Maybe a little bit harsh, but I think Gagliardi was a little slow to move his feet and get across there. Of course, Hawkinson shouldn't get the time and space on the edge of the box there to get that volley off uncontested, but I feel like Gagliardi was in a good enough position where he could have got across to that, saved his team.
Just mentioning that Miami FC had lost their last 4 when conceding the opening goal, and Chris, here we go again.
And I was just about to mention that out of San Antonio's last 3 games, in 2 of those games they actually failed to score. 0-0 against Orange County, and they lost 1-0 to Las Vegas Lights.
And Las Vegas Lights got blasted earlier today by Charleston 6-0. It's a head scratcher.
Which is it's the unpredictability of USL Championship. Sometimes the results are just crazy. You're looking at San Antonio, who've been one of the top teams for a number of years now, losing to Las Vegas Lights, and then Las Vegas Lights tonight lose 6-0, which is pretty incredible scoreline to lose by, to say the least. Concede 6 and not get yourselves on the score sheet is not really a team that you'd expect to be beating San Antonio, but that's the unpredictability of the league at times.
You said you don't want to be harsh. I want to know when you are harsh. I want to be around when you're harsh. As a former player, you've seen it all and you've done it all. So
I think there's striking a balance between always looking for improvement and being content, or what do you say, complimenting where you are right now. I think I'm probably leaning a little bit more towards looking for improvement, and could probably be a little bit more balanced to reflecting and appreciating where we are right now.
That's the coach in you, though. That's the coach in you. Gotta love it. So Hawkinson with the goal in the 11th minute. Hernandez with the helper, his 4th of the year. 1-0 San Antonio. Oddly enough, these teams met last year in San Antonio at Toyota Field. Miami FC scored an early goal, led 1-0. Then back-to-back yellow cards resulted in them being down a player, 11-10, and they still beat San Antonio. They were the only team last year to beat San Antonio on home ground.
You've got me feeling guilty now for not giving credit where credit's due. the technique and the skill for Hackinson's volley. I think I got lost in the keeper and being harsh on the keeper. The technique and skill for him to connect with that volley is such a hard skill. So I have to give him a lot of credit for the strike, because that's not an easy skill at all. And to be able to do that in the heat of the moment from a cross coming from that distance is quite impeccable. So
bodies falling on both sides. Luisinho with all kinds of real estate. He can let it rip from here. That shot is going on goal. Cisniega able to pounce on it.
Good creative play there from Luisinho. Just finds the time and space to get the ball at his feet, driving through the center of the park, and tries to hit the dipping strike, but Cisniega was in a great position to make it look fairly straightforward.
Pablo's got good size, so at 6'5", he's got plenty of range to move laterally and get around everybody. Speaking of that, Chol was trying to maneuver. Hernandez looking for more. Hawkinson. Hernandez down in agony right now. See if he can get back up into the lane. Cardona heads it away. Gomez jostling for position with Ayambilla. That didn't look comfortable on his right leg.
Gomez just has to be a little bit careful. He's already sitting on a yellow card, and he has a very tenacious character about him. He likes to put pressure on the ball. He likes to dangle his foot. He likes to stick his foot into tackles. He just has to be careful with the timing, because one more badly timed tackle, and obviously he's going to be taking an early shower.
Ayambilla splitting two defenders, and now hustling, looking for Gavilanes, but that pass was a poor one.
Yeah, I think Ayambilla actually did well there. He's driving inside on his left foot, and he's just looking for players to be running in between the defenders, breaking lines, but everybody was standing behind, so he wasn't able to play a through pass, and easily picked off by San Antonio in the end. When they see Ayambilla making those runs in possession of the ball, somebody's got to be trying to make runs in behind the defense.
Gomez. Now San Antonio trying to settle things down. They're coming off a 3-1 victory against Hartford. Chol scored in that match. Mitchell Tainer down on the deck right now. Doesn't look good. Antonio Nocerino. A pleasant man with a lot of enthusiasm, but he has had his work cut out from this year. His confidence hasn't wavered, which is great.
And I think that's a byproduct of understanding that they have a young squad. They probably accepted before the season began, hey, we're probably not going to challenge for #1, but we can make the playoffs. And of course, so early in the season, all they need to put is a run together of 3 or 4 games, and they'll find themselves in 8th position and competing for the playoffs. So I think he's managing the expectations of his team, the organization, and where they are right now and where they think they can be come October, November time.
We'll see how things can unfold for them. Tainer appears to be okay. While we have a brief moment, the USL on the CBS networks continues in May. Undefeated Detroit City FC takes on the defending championship title holder, Phoenix Rising. Saturday, May 11th at 6:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. Let's take a peek at that goal that, Chris, you were highlighting because of the placement of it.
Yeah, I have to give the credit where the credit's due now. Fantastic pass from Hernandez. Picks his head up. That's not an accidental pass. He picks it up and picks out his teammate. Beautiful left foot. Hangs it up. Keeps his eye on the ball here and just connects with it with perfection. Goalkeeper's waving to his family in the crowds, and it nestles in the back of the net and gives San Antonio the 1-0 lead.
Hernandez head up all the way. The body's inside the 18 for San Antonio. Might have given Gagliardi something to think about. And as you mentioned, Hawkinson at that placement at the top of the box.
Even the little 1-2 between Hernandez and Lucas Silva to get Silva in an opportunity where he could deliver that pass, but Hackinson, take a bow. It's probably one of the best goals you'll score in your career.
Got an early substitution for San Antonio. Mitchell Tainer is not a good look. Bura coming in now for him. So Bura will replace Mitchell Tainer, the captain.
Who picked up an early yellow card also.
Bura hasn't seen a lot of time this year. Only his 4th appearance of the season. Does have a goal to his credit. So in the 19th minute, an early change for Alan Marcina. 6th season as head coach of San Antonio.
And of course, Miami FC should see that as a plus. They've just lost their captain, one of their key defenders.
Yeah.
Inevitably, that makes the defense a little bit weaker. So now there's going to be opportunities. Not saying that Bura cannot handle himself, but the leadership that they're going to be missing from your captain not being on the field is definitely going to have an impact to the team.
See if they can make any kind of progression down the pitch with a fruitful opportunity or two here in this first half.
It's been a quiet opening 20 minutes for Juan Agudelo. Of course, there's a period of time. This is one of the most probably known household names for the U.S. national team at one point in time.
Yeah. Frankie Lopez not looking comfortable right now, limping a bit. Agudelo was a big pickup from Birmingham. He had 5 goals and 5 assists with Birmingham Legion. Comes to San Antonio, Lone Star State. No chance on that feed for Guenzano.
And this just speaks to the caliber of players in the USL Championship. Agudelo was one of the hottest prospects in US soccer at one point, representing the national team, World Cups, involved in everything. And now he's here in the USL Championship. Speaks about how the league has developed and grown over the years.
One notable figure not with San Antonio this year, Jordan Farr. Farr moving on to Tampa Bay. Cabral. Lopez in the middle of the park. Cabral creating that shot on goal. Cisniega got beat, but that shot just going wide. Gavilanes, who finds that sweet spot in the middle of the pitch, nearly was able to pocket his 5th goal of the year.
Yeah, and you can see why Gavilanes is the top goal scorer. Just finds that little moment to dive inside, gets his shots off. He's not scared to shoot from distance, providing a big attacking threat for Miami FC right now. And that's not far away at all, but San Antonio have starved Miami FC to taking shots from long distance. Outside of the corner that was corner goal that was disallowed early in the first 2 minutes of the game, they have forced them to be making shots from distance. They haven't allowed them to get inside the 18-yard box, where the conversion rate is a little bit higher than 25 and 35 yards.
Yeah, Miami, to your point, Chris, they've scored 9 goals this season. Only 5 of them have been inside the 18. So they've had to do a lot of work outside the box. Players colliding there. Boda was on a red card and not able to play last week in that loss to Birmingham. Gomez, a little chatty.
With Miami FC having such a youthful roster, of course, with young players, there's going to be mistakes. It's part of developing, learning, and growing. And obviously, they have a little bit of naivety, but they normally come with high energy, a lot of purpose, a lot of enthusiasm. And it's kind of the trade-off that you have for developing players and knowing that it's a long-term project, is that you kind of have to be able to go through some of those pains and those growing experiences with young players as they find their way in the game and learn their trade.
When you're a veteran player, though, on a roster like this, how do you work with the youthful guys? Because you made those mistakes, but then you also learned and grew from them.
Yeah, I think it's, number one, you know the team you're signing up for. You know the project.
Hernandez, back post, way too long for anybody.
You know what the objective is. And then obviously as a senior player, you have the personality and the character to jeez, I thought that was we never clammy, but you have the personality and the character to develop those players. You know, you have to be able to communicate and lead by example, and through communication it takes a lot of mentoring, and I think the experienced players that they have on their roster are capable of doing that. You know, I think that's part of the manager's choice in signing these players, the experienced players, is that they can bring that to the team, because it cannot be a one-man show. To be successful requires everybody, from the kit man all the way to the experienced players and the head coach. So I think it's a real collaborative effort.
Cabral was able to play that to Gavilanes, and he gets it back now. Boda has one of the goals this year, but it was via penalty. All the way back in week 1 against Colorado Springs, who have failed to capture a victory so far this year.
Yeah, there's a couple teams that have been off to a rough start.
Yeah. El Paso.
Colorado Springs were obviously in the quarterfinals of the USL Championship last season, and off to a rough start this season. But
Pittsburgh?
we know that sometimes you start slow, finish strong. I'm one for wanting to finish #1 in the regular season and win the playoffs. I think that the regular season is the hardest one because you have to be consistent week after week, game after game, and I think that's the hardest thing to do. If you finish 8th and you have a good 3 weeks towards the end of the season, of course, that's the championship. However, I give a lot of credit to the team that's able to finish #1 over the course of 9 months.
Lopez, the pirouette, pulls the trigger. First shot will be, but the second one won't be. Luisinho bangs it home. Miami FC on the board. We're equalized in the 24th minute. It's 1-up.
Exactly what Miami FC needed at the right time. We spoke about the strength they had in the opening 10 minutes and they weren't able to convert on it, but they kept themselves going despite conceding that first goal. They kept themselves going. Luisinho, right place at right time. Positive run here from Lopez. Gets onto the ball first. And this is where they could be missing their captain. Just that 1v1 defending. Great ability here to get in behind. Drills the ball across the face of goal. Luisinho's there to put it into the back of the net. Gets his team back on level terms. 1-1.
Burks was outworked there by Lopez. Luisinho pocketing that goal. That goal powered by micromobility.com. Luisinho in the 25th minute. And Chris, in that position, if you are Frankie Lopez, that is more of a shot that he took, not necessarily to score, but to have it ricochet and carry him out right into the vulnerable spot for Luisinho.
He just drills it across the face of the goal. And sometimes, even though he may not pick out a player, just drilling it that hard, defender, it deflects of a defender and goes into the back of the net, anything can happen. So it just happened, the ball bounced out in perfect path for Luisinho. Just to tap it in the back of the net is get his team the equalizing goal.
Luisinho's first goal during the regular season. He had 2 in US Open Cup. And for Miami FC, getting level, huge. Part of the reason for that was because, as you mentioned, Chris, they were strong for the first 10, 15 minutes, but they conceded the early goal.
And they needed that as a confidence boost.
Yeah.
You know, being at home in your home stadium 1-0 down is not easy at all. The fans are on your back. The expectations in front of your home fans is a little bit more than when you're away from home. So I think that would have took a little pressure off them. Now it's going to be interesting to see if they can go on and build on that equalizing goal, possibly get themselves in the lead.
Well, they're playing here at FIU Stadium for the first time in roughly a month. They've been playing at FIU Soccer Stadium. So you go from the grass to the turf. I don't believe in those sorts of elements will have a major impact, but nevertheless, they just changing things up whatever way it works. Cabral here. Cabral with a chip. Lopez. Is he onside? He is not. Goal would not have counted.
I think you had to give Lopez a little bit, even though he's offside, his movement has been good in his opening 25 minutes. He's making the runs first, and that's giving his teammates the opportunity to play him in behind. He's running in between fullbacks, running in between the 2 centre-backs, creating opportunities to get in behind.
Cisniega gave it away. Iambilla, depossessed by Chol. That thing is punted a few rows back.
Notrino looks like he could put his boots on at any time and get into this game right now.
So good. I mean, he is constantly working on the sidelines.
The information and the knowledge and experience that he's able to pass on to these young players is absolutely invaluable. Of course, he's got to do more than mentor and teach. At some point, they've got to pick up points and win games, but I envision these players are loving the opportunity to play under such a recognized head coach.
Gavilanes. Stretch pass looking for Lopez. Cisniega's there. Lopez does put a lot of pressure on the back line to stay honest and not creep up. Get overextension by that last line of defense, you could be in a world of hurt.
And as you can see, what we were speaking about, Miami FC just dropping off and allowing the centre-backs to have it and keeping their line of confrontation in and around the halfway line. that requires everybody to buy into that focus. So all it takes is one player to break the team unity, and then there's a weakness that could potentially be exploited very easily. So defending well when they're not in possession of the ball, Miami FC. Although they're not in possession, they're still dictating kind of where San Antonio can and cannot break them.
Yeah, this match so far has been 50-50. San Antonio came into this affair as a sizable favorite against Miami FC. If you're looking at our friends in Las Vegas, Miami FC was plus 420 to win tonight. San Antonio minus 180. All in all, it means you got to do something special if you're Miami FC to come out with a W, at least odds makers.
Affordability, versatility, and most importantly, availability. Volkswagen Sport Utility models are in stock now. Take your choice of the affordable new VW Taos, 7-passenger Tiguan, the Ruby new Atlas, stylish Atlas Cross Sport, or the full electric ID4. All with 2 years complimentary maintenance, quality German engineering, smart technology, and a lower maintenance cost. Visit a Volkswagen South Florida dealership near you and test drive one today. Shop VWFlorida.com.
This portion of the broadcast sponsored by Toyota of Hollywood. We speak your language. Hablamos tu idioma. 1-1 is the score. San Antonio early. Cabral trying to give them the advantage. Was blocked on the way through. Hawkinson for San Antonio. Luisinho, the response. Hernandez flicks this thing out wide. Another cross. Agudelo, way too tall for him. Silva, the delivery. Hernandez feeding for another helper. That one sent right back where it came. Gomez in the 31st. Shannon wants it back on the run. He has it now. Gomez didn't hit that first one cleanly. Bodo was able to redirect it.
Yeah, I think if there's one area Miami FC can definitely improve on areas, it's getting out to the wide players earlier and stopping them from delivering those balls into the box, putting them under pressure. You'd much rather stop the delivery at the source rather than have to deal with a cross in the inside of the 18-yard box or the 6-yard box. So I think if they can do a little bit better of putting pressure on the fullbacks and the wide players, stopping the cross rather than allow it to come in and defending it.
Yeah, that's not a good look now for Miami. Luisinho down. Again, Mitchell Tainer left this match earlier on. Don't know the severity of his injury, but you lose your captain. Not a good sign.
Yeah, obviously he brings that leadership on the field, keeps players organized, keeps them honest. Is essentially the coach's voice on the pitch in regards to tactics and formation and leadership. So I imagine he's a big loss. Looks like we could see an early change here from Miami FC also.
And the wind is howling here, over 20 miles per hour at FIU Stadium. Luisinho's night could be over with.
And when the wind is this strong, it often leads to a game or two halves. Where one game, one half you're penned in because the wind is keeping you there. Everything you play forward comes back at you. And then the other half, you have the wind with you, where you have to be careful of overhitting passes and the wind picking up the ball and carrying it too far. So often ends up being a game of two halves when the wind is this strong.
See if we could swing back and see when Luisinho went down. Just really unfortunate in the circumstances. Michael Lawrence will come in for him. Early change in the 33rd minute. Let's see expression for Luisinho. Looks like he got stepped on.
Yeah, early changes for both teams in the first 30 minutes of this game, forced by injuries. Brilliant play there from Lopez.
Gavilanes goes down.
Just holding up the ball. So important when the ball goes forward. Centre forwards or wide players being able to keep their team in possession. Allow their midfielders to get higher up the field to support them.
Take a peek at this again, as you mentioned it.
Gavilanes is I would say he's smart. He plays the referees well. When he feels the contact, he knows how to go down and draw the free kicks. Of course, there's other players who don't go down at all. You could be climbing their back and they want to stay on their feet, but he picks his moments.
Lopez holding his ground. Nice pivot. Lopez working some magic. Cabral. Great job for Lopez to keep possession. Gomez on that touch will result in a corner kick from Miami FC.
Yeah, Lopez so explosive. You see his ability just to change direction so quickly. Just stops and is able to cut and change direction extremely quickly. Very difficult for defenders. Matched with some crafty footwork.
Another Toyota of Hollywood corner kick. Cabral. Cabral's had a couple of nice corner kicks that have been on the mark for Miami. A variety of ways to attack. So one change for both sides. Cabral, service, trying to work short.
Delivery there from Cabral, just unable to miss the first defender. He needs to get it over his head to give his teammates a chance of attacking it.
Gavilanes, Boda, that thing never had a chance. There was not a lane for him to put it on target. I think he probably was a bit too ambitious on that strike.
Yeah, just didn't have the angle to get it out his feet and get a clean strike on goal. Dragged it, always going wide of the target.
So Cisniega has had 2 shots get behind him. One of them was waved off. Luisinho beat him, though, in the 25th minute, but Luisinho will not be a factor the rest of the night. Michael Lawrence came in for him for an injury. Mitchell Tainer is out as well.
And as we spoke about, David, if you're watching this game, the margins of play, possession, opportunities between Miami FC and San Antonio is not that big. You're looking at one team who's rock bottom of the Eastern Conference against another team who's fourth for the Western Conference and climbing steadily.
Yep.
So when we were talking about Miami FC being able to turn things around and climb the table, I think the performance isn't that bad. It's just the ability to pick up results and win games, which is sometimes lacking that experience of how to win a game. Even when you're not playing well as a young player, sometimes you lack the experience of knowing how to win games, even when you're not playing at your best.
Ooh, Lawrence using some size, just can't get around that last line. Yeah, to your point too, Chris, tonight Miami is out shooting San Antonio 6-2, shots on goal 2-1. They've outchanced them, and they finally made the most of their opportunities with 1 goal. But they could conceivably have 2, maybe even 3 if a couple of those shots are on target.
Yeah, but if you're looking at historically San Antonio, the reason they've been as successful as they've been over the past 2 seasons and more is because even on their worst day, they've still found a way to win the game. And I think this is something that Miami FC are going to have to learn how to do over time. Is when they're doing well, great. But even when you're not doing well, can you still find a way to win the game?
Some head contact here. That'll result in a yellow card.
Yeah, completely accidental. There's no intent here from Lawrence. He just turns his shoulder blind in an attempt to get the ball and connects with Boney's face. Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Yeah, San Antonio, you mentioned how even their A-plus effort is not always needed to pick up W's. 16-4-7 against the Eastern Conference. Ooh. I know you have field awareness, but for Lawrence, that's not.
Yeah, you don't anticipate a defender's head coming in so low, so it's kind of intuitive.
.38th minute. At the break, Chris and myself will have first half highlights, some stats. We'll take a look around the yard, USL Championship scoreboard, some news and notes. Anything else we want to dabble in?
We'll see that beautiful goal from Hackinson once again.
His first goal of the season, Luisinho, his first during the regular year. Watch out, Aguadelo. Juan, separation, placement through, looking for Chol, and Chol wiped out by Cardona.
Nice play there from Aguadelo. Gradually feeling himself into the game.
Hernandez deadly on these corners. Miami FC, they've conceded 3 in the year from a corner position. Hernandez wasting no time. At the best, Barbier and company looking to press forward. Lawrence. Barbier on the approach, has Lopez out to the left. Barbier was expecting that contact to elude him or not, but placed up, and now it's back. Knutson nearly gave that ball away. Bode here. Possession favoring San Antonio, 60-40, but shots are 6-3 in favor of Miami. Daniel Gagliardi, sorry Chris, last time he played was against Tampa Bay a couple weeks ago.
And when you're speaking about the possession there, David, it's been a lot of Miami FC allowing the centre backs to have the ball in possession and just not wanting to press them. Similar to what we're seeing now, they're not being aggressive and pressing. Very much being disciplined, keeping their shape, and allowing San Antonio to have that possession in unthreatening areas. These are areas where they're not going to score goals. So they're saying, look, let the centre backs have the ball in these areas. Once they get more advanced up the field, that's when we need to put pressure. But in this area, we can conserve our energy, allow them to pass side to side. It's not going to threaten.
Well, it's been pretty good. San Antonio has not put Miami FC in a lot of threatening and vulnerable positions. As you mentioned, the Hawkinson goal was just wonderful effort, and the execution was world class.
Yeah, we'll erase my critique. We will just say a world class goal.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Nice play here. Knutson and company defensively sharp.
That's where Miami FC can be stronger. 3 players committed out of the game there for San Antonio. When they win possession, if they can find penetrating passes and turn that into an attack quicker, that's where they can really catch San Antonio out on the counter-attack.
Looked like Lawrence is well past that goal line. It was ping-balled off of him. It'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, I think Lawrence has to be a little bit careful there. He's already on a yellow card. Just put the ball down, get your shape, focus back on the game. I think the last thing he wants to do is aggravate the referee and put him in a situation where he doesn't give him a favorable call. And that's where sometimes, David, possession can be a little bit misleading.
Sure.
Because if the centre backs are having the possession in their defensive third, that doesn't really, there's no value to that essentially. Yeah, you've had possession of the ball, but Miami FC are not necessarily running very hard because you're not switching the point of attack, making them run side to side. They're very comfortable just keeping their shape, and they're fairly stationary. So it's not like they're losing tons of energy because you're moving the ball so quickly and causing them to chase and shift and work hard. So there always has to be some context to the possession that they're having.
Yeah, expected goals so far, Miami has the advantage, 0.6 to 0.18. And the Hawkinson goal, the delivery courtesy of Hernandez. Barbier turned it over to Hernandez. Hernandez pivoting, eluding 2 defenders, and Knutson recovers nicely, but this results in a corner kick.
Yeah, I don't think Barbier's had his best 45 minutes. I think he's been a little bit slow to close down, a little bit lethargic in possession of the ball. I think he's got as one of the most senior experienced players on this roster, I think he's got to have a little word of him at half time and get on this second half and be a little bit more composed and combative in his performance.
One of the new acquisitions, Hernandez here. Back post, Gagliardi vacates. He whiffed on that ball. Fortunate enough, Guenzano and company were able to erase it. Hawkinson, left side. Agudelo, he got a body part on it. Gagliardi is there to stop it, though.
Miami FC really lucky in this situation, just allowing the time and space here for Hawkinson to drive forward with that pass. Somebody in the midfield's really got to get pressure on him a lot quicker, not allowing that freedom. Great overlapping run here on the left-hand side from Lucas Silva, and a dangerous ball into the box. Gagliardi, though, we're very happy to have seen that gathered into his hands.
Agudelo had that thing go off his midsection.
and Bila, they're just not reading the play, playing the ball into a space where nobody was making a run. San Antonio actually opting to be a little bit more direct with their build-out from the back. The centre-backs playing the ball longer and over the top of the midfield because of Miami FC not pressing them and getting disrupted in their shape. It's been very difficult to play through them. So now San Antonio are trying to play over the top of Miami FC because those passing lanes just aren't there to penetrate them.
Guessing we might get about 4 minutes of added time. Mitchell Tainer and Luisinho being treated by the medical teams, causing that. The chip, the look. Lawrence on a run. He had a break for a moment. Lawrence, right foot, open lane against Sistiega. That one grabs Woodward and finds a sweet spot in the back of the net. Luisinho's replacement and Michael Lawrence comes off the sideline and onto the board late. It's 2-1 Miami.
I think there's a lot to give credit for. I think it's Lopez here, the quality to play the ball over the top of the defense. The run from Lawrence gets it under control. I thought the turf, actually, the bounce on the turf held him back. He does well to get the ball out his feet, drive it across the keeper, hits the post, and nestles in the side netting and gives his team such an important goal. Going into halftime, they take the 2-1 lead.
You almost feel like, as you were alluding to earlier, Chris, that Miami deserved a better fate than being down 1-0. And it's funny how the soccer gods will repay you some point during a match.
Yeah, as we spoke about, possession isn't everything. Where they've allowed San Antonio to really have the bulk of the possession has not been threatening. But we spoke about making runs in behind the defense, and Lawrence does exactly that in this situation. Lopez is able to find him with the perfect timing. And the turf is actually, I thought he was going through 1-on-1. I didn't think the defenders were going to be able to get back goal side. But because of the bounce of the turf, it actually held the ball up. He had to actually take a few more touches before he was able to get a shot off. And the accuracy was far too much for Sisinega in goal. Beaten by the perfect strike. At Miami FC, we spoke about there wasn't much in this game. For a team that's sitting 12th in the Eastern Conference against a team that's 4th in the Western Conference climbing, there wasn't that much. And we spoke about the performance not being bad at all. It's just a case of being clinical, taking chances, and finding a way to win games. Of course, we're only halfway through, but if they can find the way to win the games, the potential is there for them to climb and make the playoffs.
Michael's an interesting story as we have 6 minutes of added time. Lawrence was added to the roster last year by Miami FC off the street, and he played in 3 matches because of injuries and guys that were missing in action. So he played in 3 matches. He was on that short-term contract, and then he was released. Gets added to the roster here in 2024. His first match, finds a goal. Gomez, not his best effort. Might be a little frustrated with himself there, and Gagliardi just sits on it.
Yeah, Gomez has a great opportunity to deliver this ball across the goal with some quality, but there's just no quality in that ball. It's straight into the goalkeeper's hands. A great opportunity for San Antonio to get the equalizer there just before half-time, but Gomez lacking quality on that delivery. But as you were saying, if there's one thing that I see from Lawrence is that he's not short on confidence. If you just look at the way he carries himself, the way he plays, he's a very confident player. And as a striker, you have to have that confidence. You have to believe in yourself. You have to have a little bit of arrogance about you to be the best out there. And I think he displayed that when he got that opportunity in front of goal. He wanted to prove that, hey, give me the chance and I can have an impact in this game. And he's done that so far.
Well, he played collegiately at Nova Southeastern University. And part of that arrogance, confidence, whatever you might say,
mixture of both.
He's got good size at 6'2".
He's got excellent size, and you just seen he has the ability to turn and run in behind, which is valuable. You know, it's one thing having good size, but you still need to be able to move very well with that size. It's very important.
Billy got taken out. Gavilanes trying to inflict more damage with Cabral.
3 against 3.
Into the middle of the pitch. Cisniega vacated. He was left in a tough spot. Almost turned that ball over, and another goal for Miami FC.
And of course, he went to Nova, which is the local university here in Miami. So it means a little bit more to him. He's a local guy.
Chol, a sweet move. Watch out here. Hernandez tapped it through Chol. Chol with some space. No accuracy.
Good build up here from Chol. Some 1v1 ability. I think he nutmegs the defender. when it comes to the finishing, just unable to get it on target. Does well to create the opportunity, but just anti-climax with the finish, I'd say.
Pretty classy move. It's a classy move. You see the smiles on his face. That would have been one of those Sports Center moments if he would have completed that act.
I'm going to say somebody owes him a tackle for that nutmeg. If you see a late one flying in at some point during the game,
studs up.
I envision that's payback.
Look like you're interested. Come on. Turn.
You can hear Alan Marcina demanding more from his players.
The luxury that we have with a hot microphone. Sometimes we get some colorful language. It's all good. Heat of the battle. Six minutes of added time. Two players had gone down, one for each side. Mitchell Tainer and Luisinho, both removed because of injuries.
Of course, Alan Marcina has won championships with San Antonio before. He's been a coach, left for a little bit of time, came back. A lot of experience on this Miami AFC bench also. Giuseppe Weller, their goalkeeper coach. Spoke about Nocerino. It'll be interesting to see both these teams get their groups together at half-time and see what adjustments are made. For San Antonio, I think Alan Marcina is going to demand more from his team in every phase of the game, both defensively and offensively. As you spoke about, Miami FC have outshot San Antonio tonight. For Miami FC, I don't think they can afford to concede another goal. So whether that means they take the second half a little bit more defensively in their approach, or if they continue to be offensive and try and go and get the third goal, it's going to be interesting to see what they're willing to give up.
Miami FC trying to pull off a major upset here tonight. And I think the other thing that's huge for Miami, if they can go into the locker room with a lead, Chris, is to do just that, play with a lead.
Yeah, I think, at some point the results have to change. At some point the belief in the players have to change. And just going into halftime with that win, it changes the momentum coming out in the second half, where it's not like, oh, here we go, we're in this situation again.
Yeah.
They're going at halftime with the upper hand. They can be a little bit more upbeat and positive in how in the team talk and what their aspirations and their plans for the second half, which is different to the situations that they've been in prior. So I think that in terms of kicking on a gear and really trying to find that momentum and build the confidence to get wins, I think they're in a great situation right now. At home, in front of their home fans, in the lead at halftime. Obviously still tons of time to play, but Miami FC with the upper hand right now. And their game plan is working. It's only those situations there where players start to drive forward, they need to get pressure on the ball. But their game plan of not pressing the centre-backs, just staying kind of tight and compact, has been working. Outside of a corner kick that skimmed off the crossbar early in the game, outstanding volley from Hackinson. San Antonio haven't really been able to carve open Miami FC as you would have expected. So I think they need to stick to what's working for them. But definitely good defending there. You've got to get pressure on the ball and block those deliveries.
Lambert. When this first half is going to expire, who knows? Silva on the left-hand side had the touch. Lambert with it now. Lambert. Chol's in the middle near the 6. Chol elevates. Awkward placement for him. Nearly low bridge. Guenzano's going to let that thing pass on by. And it's going to result in a goal kick. This should do it for the first half, I would imagine, and finally it is. So it felt like it should have been a little bit less than 7 minutes of added time, but that was the case. Whatever it may be, Hawkinson, you see him right there, scored the goal's first tally of the night. But Luisinho and then his replacement, Michael Lawrence, came right back, scoring late, 2-1 Miami FC at the break.
Yeah, great strike from Hackinson to give his team the lead. Even better pass from Hernandez. Be interesting to see the replay shortly to see if the goalkeeper Gagliardi really could have done better with that strike.
Miami FC outshot San Antonio 7-5, 3 on target to just 2 for the road team, and they were rewarded. Hawkinson with his first of the year, but Luisinho his first, and Michael Lawrence his first. End of 45 minutes in the books here for Miami. Miami FC 2, San Antonio 1.
Importantly, availability. Volkswagen Sport Utility models are in stock now. Take your choice of the affordable new VW Taos, 7-passenger Tiguan, the Ruby new Atlas, stylish Atlas Cross Sport, or the full electric ID4. All with 2 years complimentary maintenance, quality German engineering, smart technology, and a lower maintenance cost. Visit a Volkswagen South Florida dealership near you and test drive one today. Shop VWFlorida.com.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Welcome back with Chris Nurse and David Gask on the Macron Halftime Report presented by your Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. We're at the break right now with Miami leading San Antonio by a score of 2-1. Time to look back at the week that was, the goal and save of the week in week number 7 of USL Championship. Fellas, take it away.
Finding Torres. Torres from a long way out. Oh, that is an unbelievable goal from nearly the halfway line. You don't see that very often. Take a bow, Juan Torres. That is an unbelievable goal.
Substitution. In for Moreno. Dennis making it happen with the right foot. There's the header. Oh, a great save by Wade. Oh, Arteaga nearly had the brace and the go-ahead goal.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
What a moment.
From distance, oh, what an effort, and it's special.
Manchoma fires!
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the Tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the Tiger.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Back here live at FIU Stadium. Macron Halftime Report presented by your Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Check out local offers at VWFlorida.com today. With Chris Nurse, I'm David Gascon. All kinds of things going on tonight. Miami FC leading by a score of 2-1. But Chris, raise a glass to you. Why don't you?
Hey, new competitions kicking off. We love to see it. Cup competitions. USL's Jägermeister Cup. Can't say I've ever had a Jägermeister. I don't drink beer. I'm much more of a tequila guy.
All right, well, it's liquor. Jägermeister is a good liquor. I mean, I don't know if we're doing shots too often, but maybe our producer Jonathan is back at the scenes. Anyway, Vacation Land, Maine's first pro soccer team, will kick off USL League One in 2025. Edward Icaza, Player of the Week last week, goal and assist for Pittsburgh. They picked up their first win of the season. Never had a Jägermeister?
No, sir.
So you've never had a Jaeger ball?
My body is a temple.
All right, fair enough. Fine. Fair enough. But yeah, it's all good things to use in notes here in USL Championship. Take a peek now at also what's going on tap around USL Championship. Had a first-hand look at Charleston. Nick Marcanic, 4 goals in that contest. That thing was a laugher. He had a hat trick in the first half.
Yeah, the 6-0 Charleston result is an absolute blowout. Wonder that Las Vegas probably have their heads hanging pretty low right now. It's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back, but conceding 6 goals is pretty rough. A lot of results. Tampa Bay in a strong position right now. Louisville City. It's interesting. Last week, a lot of the home teams actually lost their games.
Yeah.
This week, it seems to be the reverse. Home teams seem to be bringing it back around again tonight.
It feels like the hype train for Hartford has come to a crashing halt, too. They've just been humbled up recently.
Yeah, they've been in some transitions within the organization. It's come to a little bit of a turbulent time, but I'm sure as the season peters out, we're to see who's where come August, September time.
A lot of fun on the West Coast this evening. Orange County, Monterey Bay, Sacramento at home against Loudoun United. Again, kickoff time at 10 o'clock Eastern there. Meanwhile, here in South Beach, Florida, Miami FC with a lead over San Antonio. We haven't seen that too often recently, but we'll have some highlights and talk about that coming up next.
Over 2,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,975. We'll pay you up to $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. That's $2,000 more than it's worth at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Affordability, versatility, and most importantly, availability. Volkswagen Sport Utility models are in stock now. Take your choice of the affordable new VW Taos, 7-passenger Tiguan, the Ruby new Atlas, stylish Atlas Cross Sport, or the full electric ID4. All with 2 years complimentary maintenance, quality German engineering, smart technology, and a lower maintenance cost. Visit a Volkswagen South Florida dealership near you and test drive one today. Shop VWFlorida.com.
Young, hungry, determined, no icons, products of our environment, predators, This is our moment. We are Miami FC.
Broadcast tonight brought to you by micromobility.com. Toyota of Hollywood, we speak your language. Hablamos tu idioma. Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Check out local offers at vwflorida.com today. And Baptist Health. Baptist Health, your orthopedic care specialists. Back here at the break, take a look at the first half highlights in this thing. It's been two-way traffic so far, Chris.
Yeah, this was opening 5 minutes of the game. Corner kick here, skims off the top of the crossbar. Miami FC lucky to find themselves not 1-0 down.
They weren't. In the 8th minute, they turned to come right back. Cabral here. Good power on this shot, just not enough accuracy on it.
Wasn't far away whatsoever. You saw by the goalkeeper's dive, inches wide of the upright.
Jorge Hernandez, he's been brilliant so far. Leads the team with 4 assists. This is one of them.
This is Hackerson speaking my language here with his volley. What a strike, but give Hernandez credit for the pass. Clips it up, keeps his eye on the ball, on target. Great strike, gives his team the lead.
24th minute, Luis Sino got himself into the act for Miami FC.
Lopez here doing well, making runs in behind. Great footwork here. Drives the ball across the box. Keeper parries it, and Luisinho is there to tap it into the back of the net. Even things up, 1-1.
And his first goal of the regular season, Luisinho, 2 of them in U.S. Open Cup. Miami FC, not done though.
Lopez here reads the run of Lawrence over the top. Great pass. I thought the opportunity was lost here with the ball staying still on the turf, but does well, gets the ball at his feet, drills it across the keeper into the bottom corner and into the back of the net. Gives his team a 2-1 lead going into halftime.
And for Michael Lawrence, added to the roster on the scoreboard, and yeah, saluting the hometown faithful here in Miami. Miami has the advantage. Stat line shows a lot of beneficial things for them. Possession, as you mentioned, throughout the first half, you don't want to look too much into that because they've really packed things in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, I feel like Lawrence's celebration just there with his arms out was almost like gladiators. You know, in that scene where he's like, are you not entertained?
That's right, that's right.
Great celebration. I told you he's not low on confidence. But as you spoke about, the possession is not a true reflection of what we've seen in tonight's game. A lot of San Antonio's possession has been with their defense in non-threatening areas. Miami FC had more shots on target, and rightfully find themselves 2-1 in the lead. I anticipate a completely different second half.
It's a good shout out for Russell Crowe. It was Maximus Decimus Meridius, Commanders of the Armies of the North. It was pretty good. It's a good movie. It's a great movie.
Great movie.
I was thinking of Bane from Dark Knight Returns. He didn't have the better response from obviously Batman and that, but nevertheless, a good salute with Lawrence. We go back now onto the pitch. Let's talk about adjustments, if any. First off, for Miami FC and Antonio Nocerino.
Yeah, I think you can just read the body language here. You can see from Miami FC, they're going to have a little pep in their step in the second half. There's a little bit of belief and confidence in the group, some smiles for a team that's that's 12th for the Eastern Conference. Maybe that's not something you're expecting to see, but it's the demeanor and the energy that they're carrying into the second half. And if you look on the body language in the face of San Antonio, it's a little bit of contrast. They're not happy with the performance. They're down a goal. They're a team that sees themselves, maybe rightfully so, as superior because of the positions they've been over the course of the past 2 seasons and beyond. So it's going to be interesting to see how they turn those energies in the second half. Miami FC, very enthusiastic and energy. San Antonio, a little bit more focused and angry.
I think if you are Alan Marcina, you mentioned it, I think you need to talk to your back line because Frankie Lopez has outworked the defense.
Yeah, and it's staying with the run. As you see, when Lopez runs in behind there, he gets completely free. There's a couple of times both Lopez, Lawrence have made runs in behind and got themselves free and been able to create havoc in creating those chances. So definitely staying with runners is going to be a key point in the second half.
What would you change then if you're San Antonio? Would you change anything in the way they've come with their shape? Possessions in their side.
Yeah, I think they have to find a way to get the ball higher up earlier, and that has to be creating more options to play forward. As we spoke about, the centre-backs have kind of been stagnated. The ball gets to their feet and they're passing side to side and not really penetrating, and then that ends up being a longer ball over the top that ends up losing possession. So I think they need to adapt how they build it out from the back and create those chances.
So the teams change sides. Miami FC And their aqua kits moving from left to right. San Antonio, the white and the black, moving from right to left on the attack. Lambert there. So Luisinho, Michael Lawrence on the scoreboard. Big look for Miami. They're unbeaten in their last 34 USL Championship matches when leading at the half. 27-0-7 during that run. And to your point, Chris, as you mentioned at the top of the show, they can't afford at this point in the season to just pick up a point. They need 3 here tonight.
Yeah, but and it's also important to raise context to those statistics. This is a completely different roster to the one that previously accomplished that goal over the past few seasons. This is a new roster and a young roster, which means that they don't necessarily have that experience of knowing how to win games and be dominant at home and make the home a fortress. So it's going to be interesting to see if they develop that characteristic over time, because it is a fortress. You do have the home advantage. When teams come here throughout the summer, it is hot, it is humid, and on this surface, it does take a little bit of time to get adjusted to it. Miami FC obviously have that advantage being the home facility, and when they have the lead, they used to know how to manage that well with the experienced players that they have. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can return to those winning ways over time.
How long did it take for you to get used to Miami weather?
It takes a while to learn how to manage yourself.
Yeah.
For example, people think that it's all relaxing around a pool in the sun, and as a professional athlete, it's not like that whatsoever. You actually have to avoid being in the sun as much as possible, because after you train for 2 hours in the morning, your body is completely drained. You've lost all your salts, you're dehydrated, you need to rest, you need to rehydrate, you need to eat properly. The recovery is actually harder being in Miami and making sure you take care of your body because of that heat and humidity. So for the life of the athlete, it's as much as what you do away from training and away from the game as it is in the game. Otherwise you find your performance dips, you pick up injuries, and the likelihood if you don't treat your body right.
Knutson's effort off the mark. No wonder you treat your body like a temple.
Yeah, it's especially this Miami FC being such a young team, to have longevity, they have to make sure they're taking care of themselves as much as possible. And of course, the game has become a lot more faster, athletic. Sports science has a bigger impact, so definitely taking care of your body is a key to having success. They say the best ability is availability.
Sure.
So you don't want to be a one and done or injured and consistently unavailable.
I remember my first time coming to Miami last year, running on the beach for 20 minutes, and Chris, I looked like someone took a fire hose to me. I was soaking wet head to toe. I was so wet, my shoes were wet, like inside with the socks. It was awful.
You'll get that across many states in the US. You're running and you're hearing squidgy sounds because your socks have just picked up so much sweat and vapor throughout the course of the training session. Your shorts too become like 10-kilogram weights because they're just drenched. So it's part of the adaptation and maturity and experience. You learn how to handle yourself and take care of yourself.
Lopez on a run here, staying onside. Lopez outworking everybody, almost paid off large.
Not far away at all. Lopez he has that ability at acceleration just to be explosive, and you see it here. Slows down the defender almost to a standstill, then just changes speed so quick. Out his feet, tries to drill it across goal into the bottom corner, and it's not far away at all. Again, you're looking at Cisanega's reaction here. Takes no chances and makes sure he covers the goal, but that wasn't far away at all.
Yeah, the expression from Gavilanes, who was next to the goal line, said it all. That thing did not miss by much at all. Early into the second half, and Miami would love to grab an insurance marker as quickly as possible.
But again, it's Miami FC who have come out after halftime again on the front foot, the more aggressive team.
Hawkinson scoring his first goal of the year for San Antonio, and then Luisinho scoring his first. He left because of an injury, and his replacement, Michael Lawrence, came in and pocketed his first. That's just a miss hit there. Bad giveaway and turnover. Keep an eye on plenty of matches throughout USL Championship today and tonight. Pittsburgh beating up on Detroit. So it looks like they're on their way to getting their second win of the season in as many weeks. This would be the shocker of the night, though. Lopez trying to skip around the corner. Bura took him out. And we play on.
Lopez just losing possession there, but he's been sharp for Miami FC tonight. He's been a thorn in the side of the defense of San Antonio this whole game so far.
Ooh, pretty good gamesmanship there from Knudsen. Looked like he held up Agudelo. No whistle, no booking either.
Yeah, Agudelo frustrated by the referee not calling that there.
Agudelo looked like he was going to be gaining some steam.
Come on.
Just could not get into a high gear.
This game could go either direction right now. San Antonio obviously chasing the equalizing goal, but that does leave them open on the counter-attack. You know, you can see them being a little bit more aggressive, trying to press, trying to keep the speed of play high so they can create opportunity. But it does open up spaces for Miami FC to counter-attack them.
Lawrence who's in. Lawrence who has it now. Gavillanius is to his left, plays that across. Bura there to disrupt it. Ooh, Cabral, that was a 50-50 ball, and that goes against him because he took out Hernandez.
Yeah, not sure I agree with that call there from the referee, but again, give credit to Gavilanes. In the build-up play there, he just has the ability to suck in defenders and play the ball around the corner, one touch.
The cross, Scagliardi, no rebound there.
Makes no mistake there. Got himself out the quicksand. Snatches out there.
Might be an instance, too, where Cabral, who's at 5'11", about 165 pounds, going against Hernandez, who's only 5'7", and a $143. 50-50 ball makes it look a lot worse than it really is.
Cabral just had to be a little bit careful here. He wins the free kick, but you can see the intent from San Antonio to be very aggressive and close down spaces quick in the center of the park. So in order not to get caught in the ball, he's going to have to make sure that he has good awareness and able to move it quickly in 1 or 2 touches.
Miami is playing tonight, Chris, like they're 7-0.
Yeah, we spoke about them not being far off it despite not picking up the results. They haven't been far away from it in performances, and I think tonight is again reinforcing that. Again, we spoke about having the ability to win games when they're playing well, and also learning how to win games when they're not playing well. I think they'll kick themselves in the face if they don't come away from this game with 3 points, given how they performed so far. But you have to play through to the final whistle, and we said a number of times there's still tons of time left in this game.
Yeah, they have outworked San Antonio, and they've played confident on it and without possession. I've been impressed. 54th minute here. Miami has had the benefit of playing at home an awful lot to open up this season, but next week is not going to get easy for them. They're at Pittsburgh on May the 4th, while San Antonio will be home against Oakland. Pittsburgh, the #1 team in the Eastern Conference in the regular year. Gomez tried to play that through, but there was too many bodies for Miami in front.
Barbera just in a great position there to intercept that cross. Miami FC doing a poor job of keeping possession though and just give it straight back. And San Antonio repaid a favor here. Bura just kicking the ball straight out of play. Miami FC using this opportunity just to slow down the tempo a little bit and regain their composure.
Yeah, I think to your point, Chris, that's the one thing I haven't seen a lot tonight from Miami. Mental gaffes. There hasn't been those dead giveaways, bad plays back to the keeper, none of that stuff.
Yeah, and I think that comes with confidence. When you're lacking a little bit of confidence and belief in yourself, something simple can become challenging. The 5-yard pass ends up misplaced, or the ball control ends up slipping under your feet. As you get more confident, some of these errors manage to correct themselves, and I think we're seeing confidence turn a little bit for Miami FC, and I think a win for them would do even more wonders for that.
Cabral, nice touch to Gavillanius. Gavillanius somehow found his way out of some tough congestion. Those tight quarters opened up. Lopez here trying to win a fight against Burks.
Yeah, for the whole game, the second defenders had a touch, Lopez has been on their shoulder, putting them under pressure, forcing mistakes.
Yeah, he's had a dog mentality tonight, as Lopez.
I think you have to give him credit when teams don't have possession, you say defending from the front. I think Lopez has been a fantastic example of that tonight.
Oh, Lawrence just mishit that ball. Expecting maybe a higher skip on the turf. Never came. Silva. Decent push. Miscommunication there almost proved to be costly. Knutson and Guenzano on the same page. Cardona a little hot, talking things up. Hernandez to his left.
Referee just trying to lower the temperature out there as things heat up a little bit between the players.
Physicality between Cabral and Agudelo. Agudelo looked like he got his elbow up. Official didn't see it. Maybe he didn't want to see it. And now the play will be stopped.
Of course, if it's a head injury, the referee has to stop play to allow the player to get attention from the medical staff.
It looked like Agudelo threw that elbow. We have the luxury of video replay. Nabil Ben Salah, the lead official tonight, not able to go back to it. Cameron Lacey's going to come into this contest to replace Chol. Second substitution for San Antonio tonight. Lacey, a local guy, he's from Miami. Cabral coming off the deck, and now he's on the sideline. Appears to be okay.
Substitution for San Antonio FC. Out number 80, Machat Choi. And number 11, Cameron Lacey. In the 59th minute.
While we have a moment, can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Cabral is back, so are we. So 2 changes for San Antonio. One out of necessity with Mitchell Taintor going down. Lacey.
1,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,975. We'll pay you up to $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. That's $2,000 more than it's worth at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Back here live at FIU Stadium. 60th minute with Chris Nurse and David Gascon. And our entire award-winning crew from Miami. Miami FC trying to snap a skid. You
can see the wind just playing tricks with the ball there.
Yeah. A little funky at kickoff. And it's continued all night long.
Good play here from Miami FC. Just stringing a couple passes today together in a cohesion. You can see players connecting in 2 or 3 options to the player in possession of the ball.
Boda, Lawrence looking for a brace. Lawrence, sharp angle. tried anyway.
It's unlucky there from Lawrence. Some great footwork there for a big guy. Again, movement in behind, chopping defenders inside out. This one just gets away from him a little bit. I'm not quite convinced that went out of play, but you see he has a little bit of everything. He competes well, can finish, has good feet. He's a player with good potential.
Hernandez coming back onto the pitch. There's someone banged up on one side. Andrew Booth looks like he'll be coming in. We'll wait for the introduction to him. Yeah, got a player down. It's Frankie Lopez who's down.
Yeah, that looks like a upcoming substitution. Will be Lopez. Looks like he's carrying a little injury. Booth will be coming in for him, and Lopez has been good tonight. He's been a thorn in the side of San Antonio's defense for 60 minutes now. They're going to miss him in their remaining 30.
Yeah, he's been a monster tonight. Lopez being removed, Booth coming in for him.
In the 62nd minute.
Some words of encouragement from Antonio Nocerino. So 80 for 11.
Lopez getting the assist for both of Miami's goals tonight, and obviously had one disallowed himself in the opening 2 minutes of the game. Will be a much missed attacking threat for those remaining 30 minutes.
At the end of this contest, we will have our Cricket Wireless Player of the Match. He is a candidate. Played much longer than Luisinho, who scored, and Michael Lawrence. Lawrence in substitution mode.
Love to see that passion from the head coach. Love it.
Oh, and his voice does carry. Gomez. Andrew Booth, who came in just a couple seconds ago. First time coming in as a reserve player, not starting. Silva. Trying to work against Guenzano. Played into a dangerous spot, but nobody around for San Antonio. Trying to keep possession and the pressure. Hawkinson.
You can see in these wide areas, Miami FC actually have the numerical advantage. At least 3 versus 2 defenders compared to San Antonio's 2 attackers.
Know what Jordan Ayambilla was doing right there.
Just procrastinate a little bit too much in possession, not making an assertive, clear decision, turning over possession.
Anytime you have a chance to get it out of your defending area, you want to get it out. He did not do that.
Especially when you're under pressure, you want to try and relieve yourself by being able to find a teammate in space, and just kind of dilly-dallied on the ball a little bit, ended up turning it back over.
Guenzano trying to hold his ground. Hernandez trying to elude 2 defenders.
I feel like Miami FC need just one more to secure.
Yeah.
San Antonio starting to build a little bit of momentum, definitely starting to increase the pressure on Miami FC. And as we've spoken about, it's a team that knows how to win games in all circumstances.
Aguadello looking for some real estate. Knutson blocked out with his right leg.
Brilliant block there from Knutson.
Hernandez going down. Miami FC trying to alleviate that pressure. They can't yet.
The ref does well there. You see a couple opportunities where players trying to sell the penalty kick inside the box there.
This will be a corner kick for San Antonio. Toyota of Hollywood corner kick.
Good defending from Guenzano. Unfortunate to give away the corner kick, but good 1v1 defending against Hernandez.
Possession 60-40. Miami FC with the advantage. Expected goals, they lead in that category right now. 0.8 for Miami FC to 0.24 for San Antonio. Ooh, Gagliardi was almost caught cheating one way.
Yeah, they have to be very careful. Saw the assist from Hernandez earlier in this game. He's a player with absolute class in that left foot. You have to be so careful allowing him this kind of time and space where he can get the ball out of his feet and deliver with quality. Somebody has to do a better job of closing him down just a little bit quicker, because he'll punish you if you give him that chance.
Gagliardi, he had all kinds of weight on his left leg, and he had to quickly pivot back and push off that said leg to scramble to the right and make a save.
Miami FC just struggling to keep any meaningful possession in the last 5 minutes, and they're allowing San Antonio to start to get more of a foothold on this game in the attacking half. As we spoke about, the possession they had earlier was in the defensive half. It wasn't threatening, but now you're starting to see that shift a little bit, and they're being able to possess a little bit higher up the field.
Shots right now 9-5 in favor of Miami. 3-2 on goal. You can hear Alan Marcina say, "Where's the foul on that?" This team's played once last year because they're in different conferences. Miami with the lone victory. 2 years ago, San Antonio captured the W. All-time in the season series, one apiece.
Lawrence may, when he retires from soccer, he may go into car sales with this. He definitely sells this one to the referee. Definitely a foul, but he definitely adds a little bit on top of it there. The arms and the theatrics, just a tad for a big, strong guy. Assistant referee buys it.
It's graceful. I think it's pretty graceful.
Smart fouls. Defenders have to defend better. You understand the players are going to take the contact and go down and win free kicks. You have to be a little bit better in your defensive moments.
Gavilania, Cisniega got taken out. That's dangerous. That could have easily resulted in a yellow card. Knutson took him out.
Good, brave goalkeeping here.
All the goal scoring occurred in the first half. Lacey trying to get around Cardona. No such luck.
Good pass from Lucas Silva to find Lacey in behind. Tries to get the nutmeg on Cardona, but does well, patient in his 1v1 defending. Wins the ball, and then Lacey gives away a free kick.
Over, Shannon.
Indy 11 leading North Carolina right now 2-1. Memphis 2-0 over Birmingham. Tampa 2-0 over New Mexico, and Lou City is hammering Hartford now 3-0. That game is at the break. Mentioned earlier, Charleston dropping a piano in Las Vegas. They simply outclassed them every facet of the game.
Go.
Nice play by Cardona there. Cisniega, who saw a decent amount of action his way in the opening half. Not so much here in the second half. Played out long, opposite side of the pitch. Hawkinson's shot in that attempt, Barbier got in front of it.
Good defending there from Barbier. Just stands his ground, patient, doesn't dive in. We spoke about blocking the cross, and Barbier does that in this situation. And again, Ayambila here and blocking the cross again. Unfortunately, gives away a corner kick, but good defending here from Miami FC. San Antonio having the spell of possession, creating opportunities, and Miami FC are defending the situation well. And it's important. Throughout the course of the game, there's going to be ebbs and flows. There's going to be moments when Miami are dominating the ball and dominating possession. And San Antonio rightfully are going to have moments in the game where they're dominating also, which is why it's very important that you're able to take your chances, but be able to defend well when the opponents are also having their moment of success.
Cabral and Ayambilla, minds colliding for a moment. 71st moment. I haven't seen a lot of action per se compared to the first 45.
You'd probably say there's a little bit of a lack of urgency from San Antonio. You can hear Alan Marcino trying to goad his team, saying quicker, quicker, move the ball quicker, try to destabilize Miami FC by switching the point of attack quicker and trying to move it quicker to create those opportunities to play forward.
Hawkinson, and this will result in another corner kick, Toyota of Hollywood corner kick.
Again, Miami FC doing a good job of shutting the ball down in wide areas and stopping those deliveries coming into the box. They're giving away corners, which is dangerous because San Antonio are proven to be dangerous from set pieces, but they're doing a better job of defending in those wide areas.
Give them too many chances though, and Hernandez will hurt you. 72nd minute. This header, ooh, sharply placed by Lambert, but a little bit off the mark.
We spoke about the danger from set pieces, and there it is. That's the warning sign right there. Great delivery here from Hernandez. Lambert all alone, nobody even challenging to get that header on, and fortunate for Miami FC, he guides it wide of the post, but great opportunity there for San Antonio to equalize, and Lambert, great opportunity wasted there.
He hit that thing flush.
For Miami FC, you can't afford to leave players unmarked that close to goal to get free headers off. That in itself should be a warning sign for them on set pieces.
Lawrence. And if he could have gotten that to Gavilanes down the middle of the pitch. Now Lawrence is thinking that ball should stay with Miami FC. Sideline official not in agreement. Yeah, the tempo of this second half has severely throttled down compared to the first half.
Agudelo showing his techers there, takes it down on the chest and knocks it across his teammate. Perfect ball on the floor on the half volley.
Lacey with the attempt, not his best. A one hopper to Gagliardi.
Gagliardi not too threatened by that attempt, just straight down his throat in a good position to deal with it, but Lacey threatening goal. Again, that pressure starting to turn up for the Miami FC defense.
Silva. Booth got taken out.
Don't drop!
Big 16, 17, maybe 18 minutes of action here for Miami.
And if Miami are able to get the 3 points tonight, still time. It will be a huge confidence boost against San Antonio, because this is one of the most successful franchises or successful teams in the USL Championship, and it's not easy to get a positive result against San Antonio, home or away. So I think it will reap tons of confidence into the team, the organization, everybody involved in Miami FC, if they're able to see this out to the end.
Still a lot of work to be done. Daniel Gagliardi picking up the yellow card just seconds ago. Call that verbal abuse towards the official, Lacey. Couldn't keep it, Barbier now. Booth, did I go up with Gomez? And it's going to be the case. Still a tough proposition for Ayambilla to corral it. Lawrence goes down. It's a bit of a flop. Sold the first one, as you mentioned, but not the second one.
Yeah, he has to pick his moments. The last thing he wants to do is give away opportunities like that, and now San Antonio on the counter-attack. I think there's moments for such a big guy. There's moments when he can stay on his feet and protect the ball and keep his team in possession. And rightfully so. There's moments where he feels the contact and he can go down and draw free kicks.
Go back to the well one too many times, though.
Miami FC have all 11 players, 10 outfield players behind the ball here and behind the halfway line, dropping a deep line.
Gomez had plenty of activity in the opening half, not so much here in half number 2.
Step.
San Antonio trying to matriculate down the field. Silva, nice pass. We'll see if he gets it back. He does. Silva tripped over the ball. Unfortunate for San Antonio. Miami now just trying to weave their way out of some congestion. Lawrence possibly trying to do it himself, though, and somehow able to manage it for the time being. It's good effort against Hernandez. Hernandez trying to step over him.
Spoke about Lawrence being on a yellow card. He has to be a little bit careful and not let his emotions get the best of him. It was a tackle where possession actually went back to San Antonio, and he was in the faces screaming his opponent. You can appreciate the aggression and the tenacity, but he has to be very, very careful. There's a fine edge that you play on.
Cardona and Hernandez. It looked like Hernandez flopped there, but that's not going to be the case. It'll be a free kick from a dangerous spot for San Antonio.
And speaking of fine edge, this was a fine edge. This is inches, maybe 1 yard outside the edge of the 18-yard box. Some good footwork here from Hernandez. Again, another one, just waiting to feel the contact, feels it, goes down, draws the free kick. Dangerous area, and I can envision nobody's going to get a strike on this besides Hernandez himself.
I mean, he rolls over the ball twice.
Yeah, referee seemed to be in a good position to make this call, so we're going to have to give him the benefit of the doubt. But as we spoke about, I don't think anybody's going to be striking this one except for Hernandez, and we know he has a little bit of magic in that left foot.
So are you saying that I was being too harsh?
I say we had to support the referees sometimes.
All good. All's fair in love and war. To your point, there is Hernandez.
See if he has any blue magic in those boots.
We'll see. Wall for Miami FC with Barbier, Booth, Cabral.
It's really a distance where he could choose to hang up into the box for his teammates, or he could try to go direct for goal. I think he's weighing up his options now.
Bill also there on that right-hand side of the wall.
Reading the wall, reading the goalkeeper's positioning, his intuition, his confidence. Really would have to be something spectacular to score directly from this distance and angle.
Just outside the 18, where does he deliver this rock? Into the wall. Nice job by Cabral and company. Great job by Gabriel to stay in front of him. There's Booth.
San Antonio winning a throw-in deep in the Miami FC defensive third.
Hernandez again. Booth trying to make his night rather troublesome.
Rightfully so. Miami FC slowing down the tempo and no rush to get this throw back into play. It's San Antonio that really want the ball in play and pushing the tempo of the game.
Miami came into this contest 1-5-1. Trying to flip the script on San Antonio after they trailed early 1-0. Lacey did not start this match, turned the corner. Oh, the chip broken up at the last moment by Cabral. Silva was just begging for that ball to come his way. He did not get it thanks to Cabral. Hernandez had the idea, the execution subpar.
It's not pretty right now, the game. It's a little bit open, bit of ping pong. But as we spoke about, it doesn't necessarily need to be overly pretty for Miami FC. They just have to find a way to get those 3 points.
Lawrence getting dropped there by Hawkinson. One of the elements that makes San Antonio so dangerous, like they always are, but this year especially, coming into today's match, of the 11 goals that they had scored prior to Hawkinson's tonight, 7 of them have occurred from the 75th minute mark and beyond.
You can see Lawrence down here grabbing the back of his thigh, and you don't shake those off. If he's feeling a little tweak in his hamstring, he may have to come back out of the game.
Well, that would be unfortunate if he cannot keep himself on the pitch, but as you can see, getting that hamstring stretched out. Never a comfortable moment, whether you're cramping up or straining or even tearing a hamstring.
Yeah, hamstrings are one of the most frustrating injuries that you can connect, because they don't necessarily stop you from walking and running, but you just can't walk around very fast.
Yeah.
So it's definitely frustrating, and normally you're out for a good 3 weeks. But you see when he's down here, he grabs the back of that thigh pretty quickly and signals to the bench.
Alejandro Metrano coming in. Guenzano's night's over with. 82nd minute.
Attention, please. Substitute for ISG out. Number 23, Ron Ventana. In number 29, Alejandro Metrano. And out number 20, Michael Lopez. In number 50, Robert Molina. In the 82nd minute.
Another stoppage here. Mulato coming in.
Goal scorer Hawkinson leaving the game early after that fantastic strike earlier in the first half.
In number 20, Jose Mulato. In the 83rd minute.
Again, we'll have the man of the match at the conclusion of this contest. It's a question of who and when that'll occur. Hernandez has had some of his moments occurring in the second half. Been on the ball a lot tonight.
And in set-piece situations, we speak about the quality he has in that. You have to be very focused in these moments, because he has the ability to deliver dangerous balls into the box.
Hernandez working for that back post, headed away. Gavilanes. The fight for San Antonio has been much improved compared to the opening half.
Good play here between Molina and Gavilanes. Just keeping their team in possession higher up the field, allowing seconds to tick off the clock as we head closer towards the 90-minute mark, and Miami FC potentially picking up 3 points tonight.
Yeah, Molina coming in from Indy 11 along with Daniel Barbier. Those changes, Ben Mines, Ofemu departing. Watch out, Gavilanes. He would have had some separation. Burak closing the gap quickly. Gavilanes can score from that angle.
Great pass there from Molina to find Gavilanes. I thought he could have kept it going to Ayumbila, who was on the left-hand side, but he tried to cut back inside, and defender deprived him of the ball pretty straightforward.
It's the second time Ayumbila has done that in this half.
Surprised the ref didn't brandish him with a yellow card there. He dribbles it out of play and then thrashes it up the park once it's out of play.
All that means is additional added time. Lacey thinking he's getting a bit boxed out, undressed, if you will. And you can hear Alan Marcina say it's a referee's game today. Been that level of frustration. Do you see it that way, Chris?
How do I say? He may have a point, but I think the issue maybe starts with San Antonio's performance themselves tonight. You know, we spoke about Agudelo being a threat and the ability and reputation he has. Hasn't really been a goal-scoring threat tonight, sorry to say. He hasn't really had, you could say he's been starved of service. I think Miami FC have been defended very well. I think their tactics have got the better of San Antonio FC tonight, and I think Miami FC have done better in converting the chances that they've created. We saw an outstanding goal, of course, from Hackinson, but
Ayambilla getting around Gomez. Ayambilla with no reinforcements, but he does win a corner kick here for Miami.
I think it's been a subpar performance from the San Antonio that we expect tonight, and I think that is half of that is down to Miami FC's approach to the game. They've been a little bit more intense, organized, disciplined. They've made it difficult for San Antonio tonight, and they've not found a way to get around it. So whilst I may be in agreement to some of his dissatisfaction towards the officiating, I think that there's opportunity for San Antonio to have taken control of this game themselves. I don't think there's any decision that has cost them the game, so to speak.
Toyota of Hollywood corner kick for Cabral. Just chewing up some clock. Molina. Chris, in instances like this, I understand what Miami's trying to do.
Yeah, but they have to do it more effectively.
Right.
If you're trying to keep it in the corner and you're giving it out for a goal kick under minimal pressure, then you're probably better trying to play than time waste. If you're going to time waste, then you need to time waste well. Unfortunately, that was an attempt to time waste that went pretty bad.
Arriba.
Played into the box. Agudelo trying to get around. That ball just goes rolling helplessly away. It was like the Bermuda Triangle there. Agudelo beating everybody for Miami FC except for the turf.
Okay, I'm going to give the credit where it's due first. Agudelo here, fantastic ability to make the run in behind, uses his body to get the opportunity away from the defender. But there's just a little bit of lack of communication here between the goalkeeper and the defender. Is he coming? Is he leaving it? Agudelo gets a toe in it, and he just trickles past the post. That would have been a heartbreaking equalizer for San Antonio. Miami FC just need to focus a little bit more in these closing stages.
That is an interesting moment in this contest, because that would have been one of the ugliest goals I had seen.
Hey, it doesn't matter how pretty they are. They all count. They all count. A goal's a goal.
Oh, a yellow card here. Ayambilla will get the booking. Following this match again, we'll have our cricket wireless player of the match. A couple players that are up for it. I think 4 of them caught our attention.
Más arriba.
A yellow card has been issued to Miami FC's number 3, Jordan Ayambilla.
90th minute, Silva. No.
In the 90th minute.
Cardona. Trying to run away. Hernandez on the intercept.
Right away.
Curious to see what the 4th official holds up for added time.
Energy! Come on! Stay high! Jorge, stay high! High! Lucas, stay high!
get some added time here, as it will reflect another 6 minutes of added time, Chris.
Not quite sure where that came from in the second half. I know in the first half we had a couple of injuries. 2 players came out in the first half, but I don't think we've had that much of a significant stoppage in the second half. But again, that's still plenty of time here for San Antonio to get themselves a last-minute equalizer.
Yeah, I am puzzled on that. Gagliardi playing much firmer now.
And this is just, now it's just about game management, focus and concentration. The last 5 minutes, bodies are tired. This is where players switch off, and sometimes games can be lost in these moments. So if Miami FC are just able to defend as a solid unit, there's no doubt they can go away to take away all 3 points. But it's going to be a hard 5 minutes to be able to see this through, because San Antonio are going to throw everything at them now.
Shots are even now, 9 apiece and 3 on goal for each side. It's been almost 35 minutes since Miami has attempted a shot. Again, Miami unbeaten in the last 34 matches when leading at the half.
It's becoming a attack against defense here. San Antonio throwing everything forward in attack, and Miami just defending resolutely, taking no chances, clearing everything up as far as they can, doing everything they can to hold on to this lead.
And they came into tonight's match winless in their last 7, if you include US Open Cup action.
Four minutes remaining, and while that may seem like a short time to us, believe me, for these Miami FC players defending right now, it seems like forever. Wave after wave of attack coming from San Antonio in search of that equalizing goal.
Ooh, contact there, but it's not going to result in a penalty. Lacey and Knutson collide.
Yeah, Knutson, he may be injured here, but probably just using an opportunity to slow the momentum down, get an extra couple of seconds. But he also has to be aware this is going to add additional time onto the clock. Last thing Miami FC need is him coming out of the game. He's been a man mountain for them at the back.
Miami's lost 4 in a row in league play. And so, as you mentioned, any added time, this feels like an eternity.
Brave defending there from Knutson. It's a good trait of defenders. They're willing to put their head where not many people are.
It's rather colorful wording, Chris.
Broken noses.
Yeah.
Gashes to the heads. You have to be brave to be a really good defender. So it's a solid trait. Top defenders have a lot of bravery.
Yes, I mean, we mentioned it earlier with a couple of feet that were kicked relatively high. Cabral's going to get a yellow card.
All right, we're approaching the final 3 minutes now, and you can see San Antonio sending all their bodies forward. They choose to play short, which you wonder is the right decision. There's not too many players to play to when you send everybody forward like that. The ball's going to have to go long and direct at some point.
Gagliardi trying to get there. Bura.
Of course, he's going to try and drain every second off the clock he can at this stage. You can't blame him. But he really should only have 6 seconds. Referee's allowing him a little extra time. Sends the ball way upfield.
All in the spirit of gamesmanship. We'll see if San Antonio gets bit by overextending. Booth. Burks. Lambert's been quiet in this match for the most part. San Antonio, though, really have been neutralized for the most of the first half, and here in the second, haven't had many creases in windows of availability. Gavilanes is going to be sandwiched near that corner. Molina, Gavilanes, 3 converge. They don't want to get caught. Gomez trying to spring his teammates loose. Played all the way back to Gagliardi, and we've seen moments like this where you just want to close your eyes and shield yourself.
Yeah, played into trouble with Gagliardi. Really, that ball needed to be played back to Gagliardi in a way where he could clear it upfield first time. Unfortunately, it was a fizzed-in ball where he had to take a touch, and pressure coming at full tempo. Wasn't the best clearance, but they find a way. They find a way, and it could be Miami FC finding a way to get 3 points at home tonight.
Trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Easier said than done. Last time they won was their only victory of the season back in week 1, March 9th against Colorado Springs. But they've outworked San Antonio tonight. Question is, do they get the positive reward for it? Aguadillo can't spin and fire. Whistle blows the play dead. And Bill can't even get up right now, and now he does.
Still one dangerous chance left for San Antonio here, and Hernandez placing that ball with some conviction.
We had 7 minutes of added time played in the opening half. Not that it was given, but it was added. I wouldn't doubt if we play an extra 8 minutes of added time here in the final stages. Hernandez, good placement, dangerous spot. And that'll be that. We've reached full time from Miami, and the biggest shocker of the weekend happens in South Florida. Miami FC with a monster upset over San Antonio. They win this thing in comeback fashion, 2-1. They snap a 4-game losing streak. As we take a look now at our Cricket Wireless player of the match, there were a few of them, but I think it was earned. Frank Lopez did not score a goal, but he assisted on both.
Yeah, Frank Lopez provided the 2 key moments that really won this game for Miami FC. The first assist you saw there, beautiful delivered ball here for Lawrence. Stands at the defender, out his feet, drills it across the keeper into the bottom corner. 2-1 Miami FC.
Well, great effort from Frank Lopez. He comes into this contest with a couple of helpers. He departs with some assists. 2 of them in the back pocket for Miami FC. Finally another W. 3 critical points for them, and they win it 2-1 as the final.
Over 2,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,975. We'll pay you up to $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. That's $2,000 more than it's worth at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
affordability, versatility, and most importantly, availability. Volkswagen Sport Utility models are in stock now. Take your choice of the affordable new VW Taos, 7-passenger Tiguan, the Ruby new Atlas, stylish Atlas Cross Sport, or the full electric ID4, all with 2 years complimentary maintenance, quality German engineering, smart technology, and a lower maintenance cost. Visit a Volkswagen South Florida dealership near you and test drive one today. Shop VWFlorida.com.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Over 2,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,975. We'll pay you up to $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. That's $2,000 more than it's worth at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Reached the post-game show with Miami FC and San Antonio. A monster upset in USL League action tonight, USL Championship. Minute number 11. This is where San Antonio got things going early.
Yeah, some great, brilliant play on the flank here. Hernandez delivers this ball on a plate. What a strike from Hackinson.
See the right foot hit that ball on the mark, beating Gagliardi, making it 1-0. But Luis Senior, Miami FC would not be denied tonight.
Lopez, we spoke about him, man of the match tonight. Picks up this ball, making runs into the channel. Great footwork here to keep possession. Drives across goal. Luis Senior with the tap in. Gets his team the equalizing goal.
Yeah, Lopez, the man of the match, was a bulldog tonight. And Luis Senior, the lucky recipient. Late though in the opening half, 45th minute, more heroics from Miami FC.
Again, it starts there with Lopez, a good running behind here from Lawrence. Gets the ball under control, slows down the defender, drives it, gets it out his feet, drills it across the keeper, into the back of the net. Gives his team a 2-1 lead going into half-time.
Nice strike from Lawrence. Just added again onto the board. Comes from the sideline and on the game-winning goal. Miami wins it 2-1. You like numbers?
I like numbers, but the numbers aren't always a reflection of game. Miami FC, a great game tonight. Tactically, they were good, they were efficient. Possession does not tell the true story. Miami FC were rightfully the winners.
This is the first time that San Antonio has lost since 2020 when scoring the game's first goal. They went 65 matches without losing after scoring the opening goal. But tonight, it does happen. Miami stings them again for the second time in 2 years. Miami with a massive upset. They captured 3. 2-1 is the final score. For Chris Nurse, I'm David Gascon. Hope you enjoy this one. Have a wonderful weekend. Miami wins it 2-1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.